Everybody, welcome to the Hopcast.
Thanks for coming back, everybody.
I'm Brad Chmielewski,
My name is Ken Hunemeter.
and on this episode, we're doing two beers that Dogfish Head has collaborated on, right?
Yes, exactly, precisely it. We have, I think it was last year, this came out, the Epic, and it got a lot of buzz with the Brewmasters television show, the Portamarillo. And so this is a smoked porter with Tamarillo and Pahuka Takawa.
All right, and shout out to New Brew Thursday for this beer. So
Shut up! And then moving on to the next one, this was just sent to us by Drink Real Beer. So shut up to Andrew. This is the new beer that Dogfish Head and Sam Adams collaborated on for the SAVOR event on the East Coast, which is like a big celebration of food and beer.
right, and that was featured in the Brewmaster show. That this beer, not this beer, wasn't in that episode, but in the series.
Yes, exactly. So, which beer would you like to start with?
Well, this guy's what, 10? I think this was like 7, so I guess work our way up that way, but they're
Okay.
totally different beers.
Yeah, right. All right, we'll go the alcohol percentage way.
Or this one's all smoky, right? Thinking
It is a little
it
smoky.
could destroy the palate.
Yeah, and this one is actually made with flowers in mind. It's actually called SAVOR flowers, so maybe that's more delicate, even though the alcohol is a little higher. So maybe we do that one instead, and then wait for the smoke to blow us out later.
All right, let's do that.
All right, cheers.
Well, the color on that is amazing.
It is a really, really nice looking beer.
It's like pink.
Nice clarity to it, almost like sunrise type of color.
It looks nice and sweet. Like it just looks like springtime and flowers and.
Yeah, and this is a 10% barrel aged beer. So I think we've come accustomed to, especially seeing a dark bottle like this.
Yeah.
You're expecting something super dark and all that. That's just kind of the way the trend has gone recently. So I was pleasantly surprised to see something coming out like this. The aroma on this is fantastic as well.
Right, really sweet.
Loads of honey
Yeah.
on the nose. I know they use honey in this, and it
Like
for
some-
sure hasn't all fermented out because you can smell it straight away.
Got a little lemon zip. To
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and I get a lot of almost like a tea-like characteristic as well.
Well, let's do it.
Cheers.
Ooh, that's nice.
It is nice. It's got kind of a sharp bitterness up front, but it disappears quite quickly and transfers over to that really sweet honey-like characteristic that you got off the aroma.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see why this was brewed for SAVOR. It would go well with any kind of food. I can see that. It's
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what they paired this up with. I would think something perhaps a little bit gamier, maybe like a duck or something like that. Also something with maybe a little bit of acidity. If there was like a greens salad on the side with some sort of acidic, dressing on the top or something like that. But this is, as far as the history of making this beer, pretty damn interesting. Instead of using just straight up water to brew with, they actually use rose water. So that all had to be prepared at the distillery at Dogfish Head in Rehoboth Beach, which was featured on one of our episodes long time
We were
ago.
up there drinking.
Watching them make rum that day, I believe, is what they were doing. So yeah, basically, from what I understand, they created a bunch of rose water in the distillery up there at the brew pub, and kegged that all off and sent it up to Sam Adams, where they actually did the brew. So with that in mind, you're going for a lot of like a flowery, rosy type of character. honey is a perfect match. So they used some honey, and then they also Jim Cook from Sam Adams was doing some sort of hop tour out in Europe and came across this hop that they were experimenting with. It is yet to be named, but it was supposed to accentuate all the floral notes of hops. Have a nice floral note to it, and so he grabbed some of that, and I mean it just has a batch number or something like that. It's like 3 something, but yeah, has yet to be named, and they got a bunch of that and went that way. So not only that, they did some barrel aging with this beer. Sam Adams, long time ago in '93, did their triple bock, which was aged in I believe bourbon barrel, and they actually have what's called barrel 1, which is the first barrel that they actually filled with that triple bock, and apparently they never even did anything with that. It's still filled with triple bock, but they wanted to kind of use that same barrel to age this beer in, so they kind of moved the triple bock into a different barrel for the time being, put SAVOR flowers in it, aged it in barrel 1, kind of cool, and then I assume that they put triple bock back in once they were done. But kind of a neat story.
So probably picked up some of the triple bock flavors from that, and some of the barrel flavors in there.
I assume the bourbon would probably be all gone, and it's just all triple bock at the moment. So, but it came out quite nice, I have to say. It's unlike anything I've ever had before.
No, and at 10%, it doesn't taste like it. I think the sweetness might catch up to you before like the alcohol. You might just feel like it's just too sweet after a while. But
yeah, certainly one to be shared, especially a bottle this size. I would almost kind of liken it to a slightly bitter carbonated mead, with all the floral notes and the honey and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's much lighter than a mead.
Well, yeah. But as far as flavor profile and all that stuff goes, that's kind of what it reminds me of.
And this bottle is pretty limited, right? You had to be at the event, or can you get in the stores?
That is a good question. I know this was kind of like the parting gift. Like if you went to SAVOR, you got a bottle of this.
Okay.
As far as if you could get it anywhere else, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I feel like it might only be there, and then maybe like a handful of like special people got bottles.
Like us. But yes, another reason we would like to thank Andrew, aka Drink Real Beer.
Yeah, thank you.
So big cheers goes out to you, buddy. But yeah, pretty interesting beer if you get your hands on some. I'm sure it'll age pretty well too.
Yeah.
But certainly drinking well fresh. But we can take our time with these, I'm sure, and move on to the next collaboration beer.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, Ken, I have a feeling if we finish that bottle, we may not walk out of here.
It is certainly one to savor. But yes, moving along, we have the Portamarillo with the collaboration with Dogfish Head and Epic out of New Zealand.
Right. So we don't get Epic here in Chicago, right?
We do now.
Oh, we do now.
They recently came into our market. I think it was, I don't know how many months ago, 8 to 10 months ago or something like that. But yeah, we do get them now. So that was.
Oh, maybe I'm usually on the American.
In the American
aisle.
Right. That's right.
All
So yeah, let's crack open this smoked porter and check it out.
So that had a really syrupy look and pour to it. It felt like.
Yeah, and a nice fluffy head to it, and kind of a brilliant like color. It's got a kind of crimson red around the edges, which is really, really nice looking.
Yeah.
Certainly gets smoke straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Not a kick in the face or anything.
No. So they basically cut, is it a fruit, right? And like roasted it on the grill, right?
Yes.
Before putting it in there? Okay.
Exactly. And this is one that they showcased in Brewmasters.
Yeah.
I remember them coming in with all the fruit and laying it on the grill at the pub, I believe, is what they did. So looked pretty interesting. Taking all the Tomarillos, I think they kind of slice them open, lay them out on the open face grill, and I don't know if that's the only place you're getting smoke from, or if they have any smoked malt in the bill as well. If they're getting just smoke from that, that's pretty impressive.
That's a lot of smoke, yeah.
So, cheers.
Oh, interesting. I'm glad we started with the other one first.
Yeah, it's kind of an astringent smoke type of flavor.
Very campfire-y though.
Fairly bitter as well.
Finish it. It's light body though.
It's very light. Yeah. And I think that's kind of what I'm lacking from it. If anything, like the flavor is pleasant and all that stuff, it would be nice to have just that extra boost of malty sweetness underneath the bitter hop and some of that smoke.
Yeah, because you finish it, it's like, did I drink some? Or like something, which it's not going to weigh you down, so that's good. Like,
no, not at all.
Feel heavy
not
or anything.
So looks can be deceiving.
Our SAVOR flour was really heavy and tasted light, and this is really light too. Maybe that's the collaboration theme is
light, palatable beers.
Yeah.
There's something to think about also, especially going from the beer that we went to the other. I think my palate is kind of adjusting as we go along here. So it may be just kind of like the shock to the palate initially from that, sweet, honey-like beer that we had before, going straight into the smoke. Just maybe need a few sips to kind of acclimate yourself.
Was it like a 3-sip rule?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a few more than that.
Basically, just drink more until it tastes good.
You drink it until you like it. That's how.
That's right.
Oh, you don't like that beer? Drink a few 6-packs.
The rule of 3 has turned into actual bottles.
Yeah,
now.
bottles.
Yeah, drink 3 bottles.
And then tell me what you think.
So yeah, certainly an interesting beer, just given the type of ingredients that went into it.
I haven't had much from Epic. Just not
Neither
really on
have
my
I.
radar breweries I'm usually picking up.
The one I remember really enjoying is they have a pretty nice lager out. Just kind of a straight ahead lager, which is pretty damn tasty, but you know how I roll. Like me some lagers.
But yeah, it's nice to see Dogfish Head doing all these collaborations with people and kind of expanding where maybe they can't expand right now, and they're kind of getting into different markets and just like reaching areas that maybe they can't do right now. So
yeah, it's definitely a good way to get into other distribution rings, especially since they've had to pull back on some just for growth's sake.
Yeah.
They're now you can get basically a Dogfish Head beer in almost anywhere. Well, assuming this was distributed, but
yeah, that one maybe not.
if you're on Sam Adams' coattails, you can basically get into any market that you want. But
yeah,
also taking into consideration the yield of the beer itself, you're not going to be able to supply a whole country with small batch stuff like this. But usually we're fortunate enough to find it because we're living in one of the bigger cities in the country.
Yeah, we know people. Yeah, glad we got to try both of these.
Yeah, it was a pretty good experience. Nice job done by all 3 breweries, Dogfish Head twice, and Sam Adams and Epic. So cheers to you guys.
Thanks for watching.